You want to hear a scary story?
Please.
DYATLOV Pass.
DYATLOV Pass incident. One of the scariest and most unsolved mysteries of Russia in the late 1950s. On February 2nd, 1959, a group of 9 hikers was found dead with chest trauma, broken skulls, and missing tongues, eyes, and lips due to a mysterious event that took place at kholat, which means Dead Mountain in Russian. Devil's Pass is a horror movie based on DYATLOV Pass incident.
The video is explained into 3 sections: origin, investigation, and theories of their death.
Origin dating back to 1959 in the Soviet Union, a group was formed for a skiing expedition across the northern Urals. Igor Dyatlov was a 22-year-old engineering student with extensive experience in both mountaineering and hiking. Because of this, he was chosen as the leader of the expedition. Of course, he could not go hiking alone, so he assembled a group of 10 other hikers, including himself, but they had no idea they were walking toward their deaths. The destination was planned by Dyatlov's group to reach the far northern regions of Sverdlovsk Oblast and the upper streams of the Losva River. After waving goodbye to their parents, the journey began from Ivdel, a small town in Russia. As they traveled, the hikers changed their means of transportation, using horses, trucks, and trains. After some time, they continued on foot. Along the way, one of the hikers, Yuri Yudin, was forced to turn back due to several health ailments. On January 31st, the remaining hikers reached Dead Mountain. They wanted to avoid it at all costs, but the worsening weather pushed them toward the pass. As they made their way through, the weather deteriorated further, forcing the hikers to set up their tent on the slope. Igor Dyatlov had promised to send a telegraph to his family and sports club as soon as possible. But as days passed without any word, the families grew worried. At first, they assumed the journey was simply taking longer, but as more time passed, they knew something was wrong. On February 20th, the families demanded an official search. The search was launched, and soon the army and police became involved. Planes and helicopters were deployed across Dead Mountain. After 6 days, the searchers found the hikers' abandoned and badly damaged tent. Investigators reported that the tent was half torn down from the inside, as if the hikers had fled in a panic. In temperatures of minus 30 degrees Celsius, 9 sets of footprints were found, left by people wearing only socks or even barefoot. The tracks led down to the edge of a nearby forest. About 500 meters away, the first 2 bodies, Krivonishenko and Doroshenko, were found near a small campfire under a large Siberian pine. The branches were broken up to 5 meters high, which was strange and alarming. A few days later, the investigators found 3 more bodies: Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, and Rustem Slobodin. One had a major skull injury. The others had died from hypothermia. Their bodies were positioned as if they had been trying to crawl back to the tent, but 4 hikers were still missing. 2 months later, on May 4th, the last 4 bodies were found under 13 feet of snow. They were better dressed than the others, but their bodies bore burn marks, and the trees nearby showed signs of burning, as if some kind of laser had been used. Even more disturbing, some bodies were missing eyes, tongues, lips, and ears. Investigation and conclusion. The official conclusion was that the group members had died due to a compelling natural force. The case was closed at the end of May 1959, with no guilty party identified. In February 2019, Russian authorities reopened the investigation. The avalanche theory stands out among others. Based on the 2015-2019 investigation, it suggests that the Dyatlov group panicked because of an avalanche or the threat of one. They cut their way out of the tent to avoid being buried alive. In the dark, they became separated. Some made a fire, while others tried to return to the tent for supplies, but froze to death. The 4 bodies found later with severe injuries were likely caught in a snow collapse or avalanche. According to this theory, the missing body parts were the result of wild predators. Other theories. Investigators also considered the possibility of an attack by the Mansi tribe. The Mansi are an indigenous group living in the snowy regions of the Urals and have inhabited the area for thousands of years. They are known to be strict about protecting their territory, and some speculate that the hikers may have crossed a sacred boundary, triggering a violent response. Yeti. The Yeti theory is one of the most bizarre speculations. Near Dead Mountain lies Mount Ortorton, a name that translates as "don't go there" in the indigenous language. For centuries, the locals believe that it is the home for a mysterious creature well known as Yeti. The people describe it as tall, huge, hairy, huge claws and teeth, upright walking creature. The incident, it looked as if Yeti had attacked the hikers, tearing their flesh. The truth of this incident fades with the memory of the 9 hikers. Subscribe for more related topic videos.